Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. Presenting for us this time is Hani Golestaneh, one of our BSAP finalists from the British Columbia Institute of Technology. Hi, Hani, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So just before we get started, I'd like to quickly introduce a few of the people attending today's webinar. We have Morgan Westcott from BCIT, as well as Carol Greenwood from the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario. A representative from WestJet is viewing the webinar as well. Here at Baxter Media, we have Wendy McClung, Emily McClung, Ashley Rochford, Ian Stalker, and I'm Dan McDonald. So for everyone viewing today's webinar on the computer, just submit any questions you may have into the Q&A box, and those questions can be answered after the presentation has finished. Okay, Hani, if you'd like to go ahead and share your screen, you can start whenever you're ready.
Sure, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hani Golestaneh, and I'm a tourism management student at BCIT. Today, I'm going to present BestJet travel guide to Yellowknife and Northwest Territories. So I start off with the agenda for this webinar. I'm gonna start my presentation with Yellowknife and then followed by current tourism landscape, visitor target market, why sell Northwest Territories, and then WestJet, fair values, rewards, and agent benefits. So a little information about Yellowknife. Yellowknife incorporated as a city in 1970. The city sits on the shore of the Great Slave Lake, as you can see on this map. It's 512 kilometers from the Arctic Circle and almost 3 times farther from North Edmonton, Alberta. Due to its northerly location, Yellowknife is the Canadian city with the most hours of summer and spring sunshine. The population of Yellowknife is around 20,000, which is almost half the population of the entire Northwest Territories. The city of Yellowknife is the capital of the Northwest Territories and the territory's only city. So a little bit about the history. The city and Yellowknife Bay were named after the Yellowknives, the First Nation people who historically lived between the land between Great Slave Lake and Great Bear Lake, and traveled as far north as Arctic coast to find copper for knives and other tools. And that's actually why they name after these copper blade knives that they carried. Now I'm going to discuss about things to do in Yellowknife and the Northwest Territories. So outdoor adventure becomes more and more popular among visitors as a purpose of travel to Yellowknife. The rate of visitors with this specific purpose increased by 208% in compared to the Yellowknife previous year stat. Ice road adventure, dog sledding, snowbed tour, ice fishing, and snowshoeing tour are some of these outdoor activities which guests can experience during their trip with different tour operators at Yellowknife. And of course, Northern Lights are the most popular reason for leisure travelers and those that are seeking for outdoor activities. So as locals say, Northwest Territories is the best place for viewing the auroras, and also this show is famous as the greatest show on earth. And this activity alone contributed around $50 million to Yellowknife's tourism market. Nature and wildlife. So the Northwest Territories is one of the largest wilderness area in Canada and covers 18% of its lake area. So there are a lot of beautiful waterfalls like Virginia Falls, Alexandra Falls, and Cameron Falls, and more on. And also for wildlife viewing, there are opportunities almost everywhere. You might accidentally see bison, moose, fox, black bear, or even whales, wolves. But there are different nature and wildlife tours, which can make this experience even more exciting for the visitors. And there are also 12 city parks, 7 amazing trails, and Nahani National Park, which hosts the iconic South Nahani River and portion of the Mackenzie's Mountain. So there are lots of great trails for hiking and those that are interested to explore nature. The Northwest Territories has 4.7% of all the fresh water in the world. So whether your clients wish to kayak, canoe, or paddleboard, go for fishing or sightseeing, this watery wonderland has different options to guarantee a memorable experience for them. As you can see in this picture at right corner, you can see my mouse. This picture belongs to Bobby Drygis. Bobby is the owner and operator of the Bean Dean Adventure, a Yellowknife Dean First Nation person born and raised in Deta and living the traditional way of life. His experience working for tourism, community programs, and also the educational field have allowed Bobby to develop the relationship both on the customer side and with the people delivering these programs. So that helps to make this tour an authentic Indigenous experience. By visiting the Adventures Camp, guests can experience art, food, and the history of these people, and they can also listen to the beat of the traditional drums and enjoy the traditional Dean hand games. For accommodations, Yellowknife and Northwest Territories have around 10 hotels, 23 B&Bs and inns, 10 specialty lodgings, and 16 vacation rentals. So there is a wide range of options for different budgets and different tastes. Yellowknife is also booming with tourists from all over the world. So different hotels are also expanding, like the biggest hotel, which is the Explorer Hotel with 187 rooms, currently is expanding to have 72 more rooms. And the newest hotel, the Chateau Nova Hotel, is the newest hotel that built 2016 and has 141 available rooms. And they're also expanding to have around 213 rooms. Now I'm going to describe different target groups according to Canadian Destination Visitor EQ profile, which suggests the best target visitor for Yellowknife and then the experience appeals for them. So the first group are free spirits. Free spirits are highly social and open-minded. They're enthusiasts. They have enthusiasm for life and outlook travel. They're constant travelers, like to be free and spontaneous. And the experience appeal for them are ice road adventure, snowmobile tour, dog sledding, and aurora viewing. The next group are cultural explorers. They are defined by their love of constant travel and continuous opportunities to embrace, discover, and immerse themselves in the culture, people, and setting of the places they visit. They don't like to be called as tourists and look for opportunities to experience natural beauty. The experience appeal for them are visiting national or provincial parks, wildlife viewing, aurora viewing, and visiting small towns like the old town of Yellowknife and villages. And the last group, authentic experiencers, are typically understated travelers looking for authentic, tangible, and engagement with destination that they seek, with a particular interest in understanding the history of the places they visit. They're interested in cultural sampling, and I believe other cultures have a lot to teach them. The experiences that appeals for them are Dean Culture Experience, Winter Cultural Camp Tour, Aurora Viewing again, ice fishing, and any other activities hands-on learning. So why sell Northwest Territories? It's a booming tourism industry and tourism hotspot. So the Northwest Territories tourism market growing every year. Last year, tourism brought in $201.4 million to the economy, up 21% from the previous year, and broke the $200 million mark for the first time. We also have big investment in infrastructure. Over the next 5 years, $15.5 million will be invested in programs to make cultural and adventure experience better for visitors. There are direct flights from major hubs. So WestJet flies to Yellowknife twice a day from Calgary and Edmonton. This means travelers can get to Yellowknife quicker and pay less plane ticket, making the Northwest Territories attractive to more travelers, especially for those whom cost is a major factor for them. And also endless experiences that Yellowknife has to offer. Few places offer so many different experiences year-round as the Northwest Territories. They have summer and winter activities and for different target markets. And this year is Canada-China Year of Tourism. So the newest Northwest Territories Minister of Industry, Tourism and Infrastructure hopes that they can bring $207 million for this year in tourism, which is one of the goals in Territories Tourism 2020 plan. The Tourism 2020 budget provides $9.5 million over 5 years and will target an additional $6.2 million in investment leveraged from other sources. And finally, travel trade support. The spectacular Northwest Territories offer marketing materials for motion, translated materials, access to resources and information, list of operators, and introduction to local businesses. So they actually become a tourism partner for different travel agencies. And I made this chart that shows the number of visitors in 5 years. They had 140% growth. For the visitors spending, they had 187% growth in 5 years. And now I'm going to talk briefly about WestJet. But before I start, today is WestJet's birthday. So happy birthday, WestJet. They're 22 years old, and to celebrate, they're offering 22% discount for economy fares for any destination. So today you can go to westjet.com and book your flight and enjoy the great saving that they offer. So about WestJet history, as you can see, this picture shows WestJet's share price since 1999 that started at $10 per share. So on February 29, 1996, the first WestJet flight departed. The airline served Calgary, Edmonton, Kelowna, Vancouver, and Winnipeg with a fleet of 3 Boeing only and 225 employees. It began as a low-cost alternative to the country's competing major airlines. And at 2015, the first of 4 wide-body Boeing 767 aircraft joined WestJet fleet. And today, WestJet provides scheduled and charter services to more than 100 destinations in Canada, the United States, Europe, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Now I'm going to talk about WestJet fares, where you can see the table that I made, some of the features for Econo, Flex, and Plus, those that they are included or not, and some of them that guests can pay for them and actually have them in their package. So I'm gonna start with Econo. Econo is where you can find all the lowest available fares. The target market for these fares are usually leisure travelers and those that are looking for the best price, like students like me. And for Flex fare, you can have one checked bag as well as advanced seat selection included. Also, there are no change for cancellation or changing for domestic flights. So it's good for usually business travelers that they're not sure about their plans and they might have to change it. And finally, Plus. Recently, WestJet divided Plus to 2 different fares. So there's a Plus lowest and Plus flexible. With plus lowest, you get leg and elbow room, advanced seat selection, 2 check bags, priority screening, advanced boarding, and food and beverages on board. But it's good for those that their plans aren't likely to change because this fare is not flexible. But with plus flexible, you get all those features that plus lowest offers, but you won't be charged a fee for changing or canceling your flight. And it's important to know this first for travel agents because I'm going to talk about the benefits that each of them has to sell. So for sustainability, WestJet is committed to growing responsibly and ensuring that it's an environmentally sustainable airline. Some of the WestJet practices are carbon offset. Carbon Zero and WestJet have teamed up to provide guests the ability to help reduce the effects of climate change by purchasing carbon offset credits when they travel. So it's a good practice for helping the climate that WestJet has. The other one is the gold LED certification that they received at 2011 for their building in Calgary. And they also North American leader in the use of blended winglet technology. Wingtip extensions reduce fuel consumption, and according to Boeing data, one of the youngest and most fuel efficient fleets in North America is WestJet with their flights. And finally, the community. WestJet has a proud record of giving back to the communities it serves. WestJet has 4 signature community giving programs: WestJet Cares for Kids, WestJetters Caring for Our Community, Airport Giving, and WestJet Builds. These programs support many organizations, including Boys and Girls Clubs of Canada, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Canada, and the David Foster Foundation, Free the Children, Hope Air, Make-A-Wish Canada, Ronald McDonald House Charities Canada, and Missing Children Society of Canada. And finally, the rewards that we were all waiting for. So WestJet offers 5% cashback for any dollar that you spend. You get WestJet dollars. Each WestJet dollar is equal to 1 Canadian dollar. But they also have a partnership with RBC. So that if you apply for this credit card and use their credit card, you get also 2% more. So it will be like 7% for WestJet dollars when you spend with these cards. And other features that you will get are first check bag free for the primary card holder and up to 8 additional guests. 250 welcome WestJet dollars, back in WestJet dollars on WestJet flights or WestJet vacation packages, and back WestJet dollars on everyday purchase. So it doesn't matter what you purchase, you get 1 WestJet dollar for every dollar that you spend. And enjoy premium travel insurance options, annual round trip companion voucher for any time and any seat. Also, WestJet has different tiers, teal, silver, and gold. Anyone can use these plans and benefit their savings and the cashback. And it all depends on how much you spend. So as you can see, you start with $1,500 to up to $1,500. You get different percent of cashback, and for 6,000 and beyond, you get definitely more. But you're gonna enjoy the partnership that WestJet has with other companies. Doesn't matter which tier, you're gonna enjoy all these benefits from different companies, and you get bonus for each of these tiers, like $35 back or 1 companion flight in Canada, or if you spend more than 6,000, you can get the voucher for Canada and beyond. And also, as you can see at the left corner, they have their own application that sync with your smartwatch, cell phone, tablet, and like other devices that you have, and it shows the points and rewards that you already have, and you can redeem it through the application. You can check the check-ins and all the information about your flight, and check the other vacation and other packages that they have, or other discounts, like today discount for the WestJet birthday. And finally, agent benefits. WestJet is offering travel agents and one company and 50 to 75% of regular published waivers based on availability. And WestJet Vacation Travel Agent Discount Program offers travel agent up to three, for them and up to three additional company at 20% off for space and hotel packages. And also for different fares and classes of flight that you sell, you can get up to 8% paid commissionable on combinable fare options. So it depends if it's domestic or it's like for farther destination, or if the class is plus or flexible, or what class of flight it is. You get different rate of commission back. And there are lots of other benefits actually that you can find out about them more when you register your travel agency on bestjet.com website, and you will see like all the benefits that this company has for its agents. And there are different during the year for different events and different celebrations, and also for different destinations, they have different benefits. But you should first register and you get all those information that they're not open for public. And when I was looking for different airlines and the benefits that they have for the travel agents, WestJet actually caring too much, like a lot about travel agents. There are lots of benefits and they want to support them, and they're growing and adding to these benefits every year. And also they're flexible. So for your customers, they have the lowest price for different destinations. For example, for Yellowknife, when you compare it with other airlines, you can see that the price is the lowest. So there is no competitor. Like you can always see WestJet has the lowest price, but they also have the other classes like Plus that is more suitable for business people and those that they're looking for a better experience. So it's really more flexible with WestJet to offer it to the clients, because they also have daily flights for example, for Yellowknife, they have 2 daily flights from Edmonton and Calgary. So it's really easier to work with WestJet. So these are some of my references, and thank you very much for your time. Now I'm ready to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Hani. So for anyone signed in via computer, you can submit any questions you may have to either the chat box or the Q&A box, and I can read them out for Hani.
Hi, Hani. This is Emily. Thank you for your great presentation.
Hi, thank you.
I was wondering, I know that you're graduating. So after you graduate, what kind of job are you looking for? What career path would you like to take?
That's a great question. I love tourism, so what I'm sure about is that I'm going to stay in this field. As I can remember, like whole my life was kind of related to tourism, and that was the reason that we moved from our home country, Iran, to Vancouver. We wanted to see different areas in the world and see different cultures and experience all these new things that the world has to offer. So I'm definitely going to stay in tourism. But in which sector, I'm not sure yet. Hospitality industry, maybe. Or I'm currently working in one of the attractions in Vancouver. So I'm really open to anything, but it should be in tourism for sure.
Great, thanks so much.
Thank you, Hani.
Thanks.
Hi, Hani. Do you think that the perception that the Northwest Territories is extremely cold in the winter might be a bit of a drawback?
That's one of the topics that the Spectacular Northwest Territories brand also is talking about on their website. But this experience is for those that they're actually looking for true northern experiences. So when you think about Northwest Territories, it's like a true Canadian experience that all those that they have no idea about Canada they're thinking about. That's the image of Canada, like all those snow activities, those outdoor activities like snowshoeing, ice road adventure, dog sledding, and they kind of all represent the Canadian experiences. And also, aurora viewing is one of those popular activities that guests coming to Northwest for. And they actually don't care that much about temperature because they expect it and that's what they want to experience. And at summertime, they go, the temperature goes high, it's around 16 degrees. So it's good for both those that they care and those that they don't care about the temperature. So there are different times, different temperatures, and it's a good range for different target markets.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thanks, Hani. Oh, okay, I do believe that's it for the questions. But I'd like to thank everybody that tuned into the webinar today. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day. And Hani, thanks so much for your great presentation.
Thank you. And thank you very much for your time and the opportunity that you gave us for this presentation.
Absolutely. On behalf of Baxter Media, I'd like to thank you for participating in the 2018 Baxter Student Ambassador Program, and we shall be in touch.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You as well. Take care.
Thank you.